It's time for me to expose Asmongold grifting again. This time around, I am going to show you how he lies and how he has opposite views, opposite positions on feminism and women. If you watch Asmongold regularly, I am pretty sure that you have heard him say things like this.
As I've said before, the most pro-feminist, pro-female streamer on the platform. I'm the most feminist person. I am one of the only people on the internet that actually respects women. A lot of people don't respect women. They just simply tell women what they want to hear. I'm actually one of the least problematic and most pro-women streamers out there. And I treat women with respect. This might sound weird, but I try to respect women. You know, like I'm the most feminist streamer. I'm the most pro-woman streamer. I am actually the most pro-feminist, pro-female streamer on the platform. I never degrade women. Listen, I don't make comments on women's appearances. There's literally zero examples of me doing anything that's negative or rude or diminishing or degrading to women ever.
Are you sure about that?
So I am the most pro-feminist, pro-women, I respect women, I don't talk about women appearances, etc. Is this even true? Is this position real? Because at first, when I watch him regularly and I wasn't working towards exposing him or something like that, it felt to me like he was a simp, like he was behaving like a simp because since he doesn't have a girlfriend, he was trying to look good for the women out there. But as time passed, I noticed that he also had this contrary, this complete opposite view of women, and I heard him say things like this.
And a bunch of toxic, middle-aged, mentally ill women made an app to complain about specific men that don't call them back after going on a date with them. And after seeing all of the leaked photos, I'm really not surprised. I don't blame the guys, it's just smart guys. Yeah, they're all fat and ugly. And so, I mean, who could have expected that, right? You know, there's a reason why 99% of my audience is guys, okay? And the reason why, I mean, yes, I think calling women regularly is definitely part of it. And I've met some of these, you know, girls that are, you know, on Twitch and they do certain types of activities, right? And so I met these girls in real life, and some of them, I swear to fucking God, I didn't even recognize them. It's nice to meet you, I'm Zach. And she goes like, oh, my name is, you know, and I just was like, really? That's crazy. Large groups of bored, middle-aged women that have lingering resentment towards men because their husband doesn't like them anymore because they're fat are probably the greatest threat to Western society that we have right now. They're worse than Hamas, they're worse than Russia, they're worse than, you know, any like African warlord, they're worse than MS-13. They are the prime evil. Asmon goes on a rant about how women's value drops dramatically if they can no longer have children or aren't attractive. I'm right, 100% I'm right. You see a woman with these hoop earrings? That's a retard. So guys should have a complete monopoly on making games? Yes. You stupid fat bitch. Anyone wearing these glasses doesn't want you to have fun. That's the last thing they want you to have. I can't think of a better argument against women's rights. This is the biggest argument against women's rights that I've ever seen. Just let them be whores again. Really. Just make it legal again. I mean, they obviously want to do this. It's what they do. Instead of GoFundMe, call it HoFundMe? Oh my God, that's good. I love that. Yeah, just let them be whores again. Just be a whore, okay? Just be a fucking slut. Be a prostitute. We've been doing this for thousands of years. Thousands of years we've had whores. Why can't we just do this again?
Now, I am going to be pretty clear. It's not that I completely disagree with what he's saying in the clips that I showed you. It's not that I am a feminist and that I am offended because he's talking like this. It's nothing like that, because I am not a feminist myself. This is not about feminism and anti-feminism. This is nothing about that. Now, people will say, oh, Asmongold is an incel. No, he's not. He's not an incel. It is time for you to start using using words in the correct way. Asmongold had plenty of girlfriends, so of course Asmongold is not an incel. He's not. You need to stop using that word in that manner. You call people like Elon Musk an incel. You just look retarded. Nobody's going to take you seriously doing that. You can say Asmongold hates women. That's very different than saying he's an incel. That's just fucking stupid. But then his fanatics can come to say the complete opposite. They can come and say, no, Asmongold is the most pro-feminist streamer. He has said so himself. They can come and say that. And you know why? It's because he is having contrary opinions, complete opposite views at the same time. This is not about feminism or being an anti-feminist. This is about Asmongold's authenticity. Is he being authentic or is he not? How can you reconcile these two complete opposite views? On one hand, you have Asmongold saying that he is the most pro-feminist streamer, that he respects women, and on the other hand, you have him clearly hating women. You have him clearly having views that most normies and left-wingers would say it's hating on women. He's clearly insulting women appearances. He's clearly doing what he says he doesn't do. So how are you going to reconcile these two opposite forces? How? Why is there even an inconsistency? Why does this inconsistency exist? I am going to explain you why, and you are not going to believe it, but I am going to do it anyway. It's because Asmongold is an actual psychopath, and this is where everyone gets their hands to their head and start overreacting. Oh, how can you say that? Are you a psychologist? Are you a psychiatrist? I don't need to be any of those things, because Asmongold himself has revealed this to me and to everyone. The problem is that you're not paying attention. You're being fanatics and you are not listening to him. You're not paying attention. He reveals this to you constantly, but you refuse to see this. He constantly has opposite views. He constantly goes against his own narrative and you refuse to notice it because you're fanatical over him, because you think this guy is actually your friend and he's not. He doesn't care about you. He couldn't care less about you. You're a joke if you think this guy is your friend and you have to defend your cult leader. You have a mental disorder. So how is Asmongold a psychopath? Number one, psychopathy is an hereditary trait. His dad was diagnosed with psychopathy. He said so himself.
And then also, like, he even tried to join these, like, private military mercenary groups. Like, apparently he had to lie on his, what do you call it? He had to lie on his, like, military intake form because they weren't going to take him because they said he was, like, a psychopath.
Because they weren't going to take him because they said he was, like, a psychopath.
Because they were gonna station him stateside because there were a bunch of like protests going on like now, and they said, would you ever fire on an American citizen? He said, if somebody throws a brick at me, I'm going to. And then they sent him to Vietnam. Straight up. And so it was around the Vietnam War. Yeah, his psych evaluation. He has a lie in his psych evaluation, and so that's why I found funny, you know, people saying like, oh, your dad would be disappointed in you saying this, like, oh, if only you knew.
Oh, if only you knew.
He doesn't see people as people. He sees them as tools to further his agendas. He has said so again himself.
You know precisely what to say whenever you interview total strangers? Well, it's because, let me think of a way to put it. Like, whenever I interact with people, I don't really a lot of times like see them as people. I just see them as like a resource that I use to get what I want.
I don't really a lot of times like see them as people. I just see them as like a resource that I use to get what I want.
He doesn't feel emotions. He doesn't feel empathy. He has said so himself too.
I remember the first time I realized that I was like this. We were driving to my friend's house because we were gonna buy, not we, I mean, it was actually, it was not we, it was my friend Eric was gonna buy drugs from him. And I was sitting in the middle of his Ford F-150 and the seatbelt didn't work. And Eric is obviously on drugs, Eric is obviously drinking, and Eric is obviously driving. So we're driving down the road at about, I don't know, 80 miles an hour, right? And this is a residential road. And somebody else was driving next to him 60 miles an hour. So Eric was like, well, he think he could drive faster than me. And he's drunk and high and he's driving. So he's just going as fast as he fucking can. And I remember thinking to myself, well, if we get in a wreck, I'm not gonna have to do that test. Well, that's fine. It's just the way it goes, right? I mean, like, I'm gonna be dead so fast I won't even know it. It's okay. I'm sorry, but like halal killing, it's just not a big deal to me. Sorry, guys, I don't give a shit. I mean, there are other things that I care about. The way that goats are treated really isn't one of them. Hey, oh no, this is the halal slaughter video. I urge you to find it on a page, Restore Britons, watch it and digest it. Treat animals like that as pure evil. No other word for it, evil. Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't really, like, I know this is like, I have a big problem with this. Because, like, I don't really have, like, the way that I see things is not the way that other people see things, if I can just be very clear. I don't really care how an animal gets treated that much. I don't really give a shit. Like, it's just not a part of my, like, emotional, like, being, right? Like, I'm not saying that I like seeing them tortured, but, like, it's not something that I get, like, emotionally upset or angry about. So, this isn't really a big deal to me. Would you say that you're insensitive? I don't think that I'm insensitive. I just don't think that I put a lot of stock in the value of how people feel. I think that's probably the best way for me to say it. So, like, when I hear that somebody feels a certain way, I usually just assume that it's retarded. That's generally what it is. Now, I mean, it gets me into trouble pretty regularly. It's just, it's not really the way that I'm wired, basically. You're wrong. They're not emotionally apathetic. You're logically apathetic. You're logically apathetic. I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, I'd have to think about it. You never got overwhelmed by emotions once in your life? Maybe as like a kid. Like, I'd have to really think about it. I mean, not really. I mean, like, I'd have to really, because I remember, like, I would get angry at stuff, and like I was like a little kid, and I realized that every single time that I got mad, my life got worse. And so I stopped getting mad. And that was generally what happened, is that, like, I found that basically every time that I had, like, an emotional response to something, my life would become noticeably worse, more stressful, more unpleasant, etc. And so because that happened so many times, I just got to the feeling where it's like, okay, well, I'm just never going to, I'm never going to put myself in a position where I feel that way. You never cried for a girl, like, even in the school days, really? Never. Never. Not once in my life. I think that the only times that I've really ever cried were when my parents died. I think that that was about it. I'm trying to think if there was any other point in time in my life where I've cried. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I'd really have to think about it, but yeah, that's about it. I don't think that's healthy. I don't know if it is or not. I mean, I have no idea if it is or not, but I was just saying, like, you know, people ask me, and like that's really the answer. Charlie Kirk? No, I was just like, I was like, damn, there's that much blood? Wow. Like, that's really, like, that was honestly, that was the way I was like, wow. It's actually horrifying footage. I don't know. I mean, I've seen plenty of that stuff happen, right? I mean, I don't know. It's not really horrifying. It's just like, that's what happens when you get shot in the neck. I think that I am a fallen angel, and the reality is that of all the people, this is what I really believe, is that I think that I am one of the only people that is truly virtuous, and a lot of other people are not. They are not virtuous. They pretend to be. And the reason why, ego stroke, no, I'm being serious about this. I really think this about myself. And I will explain the reason why. It's because I don't really, like, this is going to sound like a psycho thing to say.
This is gonna sound like a psycho thing to say.
But like, a lot of empathy and sympathy and human emotions don't come naturally to me. They just don't. Like, I remember whenever I would hit somebody in the face when I was a kid, I would think that shit was funny, bro. Like, I was like, damn, bitch, that's what you get. That's, gotcha, bitch. And they be crying, bleeding. I think that shit is hilarious.
And they be crying, bleeding. I think that shit is hilarious.
And so the way that I've learned the way that other people feel is not through how I feel. It's through how other people feel. And it's through logic and reason. And that's the reason why I think that I'm a better advocate for this, is because I don't see it through the lens of emotion. It's engineered logically. And that's what it is. Huh, you fucking roach? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Like, that's actually what it was. And yeah, did man just admit he's a sociopath? Oh, I don't know, maybe I am. Like, I don't know. Like, people told me that. Like, they said a lot worse about that than, like, they said a lot worse about that than me. Like, I mean, that's what it was. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, like, you know, I don't really think that I'm that crazy. I think the world is crazy, if you want me to be honest. I think the world is crazy, and I'm the only one that's not crazy. So, you know, like, that's it. And you did? That's already how psychopaths operate? Well, either way, that's the reason, that's what makes me the most virtuous person.
He is constantly working towards a goal that he has never revealed to his stream. Psychopaths are goal-oriented people, and you are going to say, most people have goals. Yes, but not in the way that psychopaths do. It's a very clear difference. Psychopaths don't feel emotions, they don't feel empathy, they don't see people as people. So they are in a pursuit of power, and it's a very rampant pursuit of power, and they will use people, they will use their resources, everything in their power to achieve that goal. And it's not in a very normal people way, it's in a very sick way. This is why Asmongold is a psychopath. He has all the characteristics of a psychopath. Psychopathy runs in Asmongold's family, particularly on his dad's family side. He doesn't see people as people, he sees them as tools. He doesn't feel emotions. Psychopaths can't feel emotions, and of course they can't feel empathy. And Asmongold, like all of these psychopaths, work towards goals. I can guarantee you that most rich people, that the top 1% is filled with fucking psychopaths. I can guarantee you this. And the problem is that you idiots, the NPCs, keep glazing, keep admiring, keep giving these psychopaths power because you can't stop yourselves. You don't have critical thinking skills. You are fanatics. You become completely fanatical over these people and you put them on a pedestal. They are your fucking heroes. Never mind these psychopaths, this 1% or this 2% have you living in a very miserable way. Most people are poor. Most people suffer because of this. You are more than them. But somehow these psychopaths have been able to control everyone. 2% of the population controls the rest of the 98% of the population. It's because you allow it. It's because you have low IQ. It's because you are easily manipulated. This is why I advocate for you to start training your IQ. You need to start thinking. You need to start using your resources. You need to start using your mind. You need to understand that Asmongold principles are only in the service of this goal that he has. Just like any psychopath, he will change, he will quote-unquote evolve, switch, he will behave like a turncoat if he has to, if it's in the service of his goals.
Again, I always, like, as I said before, like, everything that I do and everything that like, every action I take, etc., is all, in at least my mind, in service of a greater goal. And if I don't feel like that thing serves the greater goal, I just simply don't do it. Again, you guys may realize this about me, is that I am, like, I don't care about how things look, really. Like, I don't care about anything else. I just care about getting what I want, right? And, like, that's, I just work towards that one individual goal, and I never think about anything else besides that. I just work towards that one thing, and I do that one thing, and I focus on that, and I only do that. I have no interest in winning an argument of morality or having the right opinions. Or, like, you know, any, like, my position is that I see a problem and I solve the problem. Like, I don't think about, oh, well, this is like, oh, you shouldn't do this. This goes against the thing that you said. Every principle that I have is in service of a goal. If the principle does not serve the goal, then the principle doesn't apply.
Every principle that I have is in service of a goal. If the principle does not serve the goal, then the principle doesn't apply.
He doesn't feel emotions. He doesn't have to feel fear, shame, regret. He doesn't have to feel any of those emotions. So everything he does, it's a very calculated move. It's all about calculations. Emotion is out of the equation with these people. So you still don't believe me that Asmongold is a psychopath and that everything he says can't be trusted because he's a grifter. He's a psychopath and he is grifting. You don't believe me? Well, here is a video, here is clips of him revealing to you how he has always manipulated people.
I've lied to people my whole life. Well, people that think that they're really smart, no, they're not. It's easy. So all you have to do is figure out how a person's brain works, and then you can figure out how to manipulate them. It's very easy. You don't have to be right. You just have to have people think that you're right. And so really, like, and that's why it's important to, like, speak with confidence about things. It's more important how you say things than what you say in a lot of cases. And it's also more important how you communicate than what you communicate. Like, the way to manipulate and get people to, like, think the way that you think and to believe what you believe, there's a science to it, really. I mean, really, genuinely, there is a science to it. Like, I've always been, like, one of those people, right? Where, like, I would try to, like, you know, fucking move things in my favor. I lie to people all the time. I was a kid. That's how I can see it. That's how I know it. Because I know it because I do it. I know it because I've been doing it for a while. Like, I've been doing it for my whole life. I was lying and shit when I was 5 years old. I was breaking my instruments, guilt-tripping my teachers, telling them that I couldn't afford a new one. And then, because I didn't want to play a musical instrument in music class in 3rd and 4th grade, bro. Like, I've been in this for the love of the game for my whole life. And I see these people that are casuals getting into it. And a lot of these girls, like, y'all don't know how to do it. Y'all don't know how to manipulate people. You don't know how to lie.
So you have heard that Asmongold says that he just treats women like people. He wants you to feel like he has a superior moral ground when he says that he treats women like people. Holy shit, what a revelation. I have the moral high ground because I treat women as people. I respect women, but it's all an act and you have seen it. But if you don't trust me, you will hear it from the man himself. Let me show you this clip of Asmongold admitting why he does and says these things.
Honestly, I have no problem dealing with women. Like, I don't, because I treat them like people. Like, it's really OP if you just treat women like people. It's crazy how easy it is to manipulate them by just treating them like people.
It's crazy how easy it is to manipulate them by just treating them like people.
So as you can see, Asmongold only treats women like people, like quote-unquote people, because that's a very easy way to manipulate women. Do you see? He has also said in the past that there is a lot of people that say to women whatever they want to hear so they can manipulate or control women.
A lot of people don't respect women. They just simply tell women what they want to hear. Nobody actually respects a lot of these sex workers. Nobody does. That's the truth. And that's the reason why, at the end of the day, when people get pushed comes to shove, they actually get pressed on it. They will use that as an insult. It's because they don't actually respect them. They do it as like a form of performative feminism.
They do it as like a form of performative feminism.
Holy shit. Well, he does the same, and he has said so himself. This is why you shouldn't trust people like him. They are grifters. It doesn't matter if you're a leftist, you're a right-winger, you're third position, or whatever you are. It's not in your best interest to follow, to admire, to defend a psychopath. It's not in your best interest. It's not in your best interest to have these people, this type of people like Asmongold, a grifter, a psychopath in your team. It's not in your best interest because he only cares about himself and his goals. The moment that it's convenient for him, he's going to switch sides. He's going to do it, and he has done it multiple times, and I am going to expose him every time. This is why I'm gathering evidence. This is why I watch him. This is why I record his videos. This is why, because I want to show everyone that he's a grifter, that he's a psychopath, that he can't be trusted. Because at the end of the day, the ones that give power to these people are people like you, that keep making excuses for these people that keep coping, that keep lying on their behalf. It's people like you that are allowing these people to thrive. It's people like you. I am going to keep exposing him because this is important. It's very important to expose people like him. It's very important to reveal to the normies, to the fanatics, that the people that they glaze, the people that they follow are betraying them, and that they can't be trusted, that they have fake opinions constantly, that they are constantly switching sides, turning coats. It's very important. And for these videos to reach the people, I need you to share these videos, I need you to like these videos, and I need you to subscribe, because if you really care about spreading the truth, if you really care about what is right, you need to do it. Otherwise, evil is going to win. Evil wins not because they are almighty and powerful. No, evil wins because good people like you don't do anything about it. Now, you can't make the videos, you can't expose the guy yourself. That's fine. I am doing it for you. So you need to support my work. You need to support these videos. Otherwise, the truth is going to stay hidden and only a few people is going to listen to this. You need to understand that these people, these psychopaths, these grifters are protected by the system. It's not in the best interest of YouTube to show you videos that expose these clowns, that expose these grifters. It's not in YouTube's best interest. This is why you also need to subscribe and like my videos on the alternative platforms, Odyssey, Rumble, on X. You need to do it because YouTube is a tyrant. Google is a tyrant. It's a company about tyranny. You need to help people in alternative platforms. You need to start using alternative platforms. As I have explained to you in this video, the only reason these people win is because they have the help of people like you. You need to start switching. You need to start filtering to whom you give your attention, to whom you give your support. If you expect or you want things to change, you need to start switching or filtering these people like Asmongold, these grifters, these psychopaths. You need to do it. You need to have a better filter in your mind that shows you what people can be trusted and what people can't be trusted, because it's people like you, the ones that elevate these people, these influencers, these celebrities, these elites. You are the ones that give them power, and you are the ones that can take away that power from them.